I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, here we go. BRR Recruitment Race number 1. Mark Nelson and Richie Joplin on the front row. Jeff Hinkle and DJ the Iceman Kenner on the second row. Donnie Gibson and Matt Cook have the third row. Mark the Man Dantuma, Gerald Thanos Poole on the fourth. Wyatt Blair and Donald Durant rounding out your top 10. Dave Stinson starts in 11th, next to Logan Romney in 12th. Twelve cars take to the track for the first recruitment race of the year. I think a lot of the drivers, after the end of the season last week, a lot of drivers taking the week off. Expect to see a lot more of the usual BRR crowd back next week. And it does look like one or two of our new drivers may not take to the grid here. Dave Stinson, Logan Romney did not grid. Oh, what is that, Cody? Mark Nelson and Richie Joplin out front. Oh, cool. "110 laps, there will not be a comp caution here tonight." Only a few of the new drivers out on track. This is their first shot seeing what the BRR boys can do. Definitely going to be interesting. Could be a learning experience considering the level of competition out here on the track tonight. Pace car dropping in. Barney the flagman stands at the ready. Here they come. Green flag is in the air. The first BRR recruitment race is underway. Everybody side by side off into turns 1 and 2. Mark Nelson quickly clears into the lead. Richie Joplin right behind. Richie down to the bottom in 3 and 4 has a run. Oh, Mark looked a little squirrely out of 4. Richie Joplin to the lead. Jeff Hinkle up to second. Donnie Gibson had a big send into 1, pulls up into 3rd. The Iceman still holds on to 4th. Mark Nelson continuing to lose some ground here early. Looks like he got out of the groove and got out of the rhythm. Finally settles back in 6th place. Richie Joplin out front has Jeff Hinkle on the attack. The rookie Donnie Gibson trying to reel them both in. Mark Dantuma started back in 7th, already up 3 spots. DJ Kenner in 5th. Mark Nelson, who lost a lot of ground on the... Whoa! Looked like one of the new drivers, Matt Cook, may have had a little problem out of 4. Gets it gathered up, though. Wyatt Blair sends it high into 1 and 2. Lost a bit of momentum, now has Thanos on the attack. Richie Joplin out front, Jeff Hinkle in second, Gibson now in third. And a mess from third on back. Donnie Gibson, Mark Dantuma, DJ Kenner, Mark Nelson, nose to tail, side by side. These four are really going at it. Looked like Gibson went high into 1 and 2. Now Dantuma run down to the bottom. Hey, good evening, Dave. Good evening, David. Hey, good evening, JR. Donnie Gibson has been trying to work that high line through 1 and 2. I'm not sure how well it is working for him at the moment. He's still holding on to 4th place. The only driver really going high into 1 and 2. And he is going way up the track through 1 and 2. Does appear to carry a little bit more momentum out, but loses something in the middle. Richie Joplin, meanwhile, out front, 0.6 of a second. Not tonight, JR. We'll see about it here in the future. Mark Dantuma currently in third, almost 3 seconds back. Has cleared Mark Nelson and DJ Kenner. As Gibson has gone to pit road. That was unexpected. Looks like Donnie Gibson may be calling it a night. Looked like he might have had a problem. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened with Gibson. We had seen him running that high line. Oh, he got way loose out of 4. Got it gathered up, but going down the front straightaway, all sorts of problems. Through 1 and 2, he went down to the bottom that time just slow, and it looks like he just pulled it to pit road and called it. Matt Cook has also had a problem. Matt Cook, another one of the rookies here tonight. Looks like he may have gone off into 1 and 2. Coming out of turn 4. Oh, Mac may have gotten a bump from behind. Got bumped into the outside wall, had significant damage, hit the wall again, headed towards 1 and 2, and the car just goes right. Richie Joplin still out front. Jeff Hinkle has closed the gap, now down to 3/10. Mark Dantuma now to third. Mark Nelson now back up into fourth. And DJ Kenner in fifth, closing in. Gerald Poole, Donald Durant, and Wyatt Blair. Wyatt Blair down on the apron. Take a look and see what happened to Blair coming out of... Oh! Blair, a hard hit in coming out of 4 through the grass, through the entire infield. Straightens it out as soon as he gets it out on track, gets it low to prevent a caution. But man, his opportunity ended there. A rough night tonight for the rookies in the field. Matt Cook is still sitting on pit road. Hopefully will get repaired and get back out. Wyatt Blair has come back out off pit road. Looks like he did only did repairs, did not change tires. Richie Joplin, Jeff Hinkle still out front, about 3 seconds ahead of Mark Nelson, who's now back up into third. Dan Tuma in fourth, and the Iceman in fifth. Donald Durant's in 6, has Thanos right on the bumper. Thanos, big run out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Looked like Durant's had a problem the lap before. Oh! Durant's is way loose coming out of 4. Gerald has to check up to not get into his bumper. That got a little spicy coming down the front stretch. Some of the drivers were talking about shifting late into the run. And you have to wonder if the top 4 are staying in, top 5 staying in one gear, but maybe a little further back. Some of these guys trying to shift, and it's unsettling these cars. Riding along with Richie Joplin. Let's see if he is shifting at all here. Going off into turn 1. Yep, he is dropping down into 4th, going into turn 1. Back on the power, down out of turn 2. Hits 5th gear as he heads off into 3. Holding it in 5th, looks like through 3 and 4, back down the front straightaway, then downshift into 4th again for turn 1. I have to agree, Cody. It looks like Wyatt Blair has had another problem and is towed to pit road. Wyatt had just gotten the car had just gotten the car fixed. Ouch. He had just gotten the car fixed, back out on track, but everything went wrong. Hey, good evening, Kevin. Richie and Jeff now have a 1.8 second lead. Mark Nelson in third after losing the lead in the first lap, dropping all the way back to 6, has found his rhythm, now 2 seconds back in closing. Mark Dantuma way up the track as the Iceman Comet DJ now to 4th. And it looked like Richie in the lead may have kissed the wall out of 4. Lap time starting to fall significantly as tire wear continues to accumulate. The track temperature here insanely hot, 132 degrees. Drivers in practice, when it was just 130 degrees, talked about how slick it was and how much the tires were wearing. Richie's fastest lap, the fastest lap of the night, 30.96. Last time by, 32.4. Over 1.5 seconds a lap slower in just 25 laps. Taking a look at some of the speeds these cars are turning around here on old tires. Will do the same after the first pit stop. But Richie Joplin coming down the front straightaway, tapping 180, 182. Then slows it way down into 1 and 2, down to about 145. Back down the back straightaway, doing about 160. $181 mph topping out right now. Richie Joplin, Jeff Hinkle still in the lead. Mark Nelson still trying to close that gap. Now down to 1.7 seconds. DJ Kenner has had a problem. He is losing ground quickly. He has dropped back to 7th and looks like he may be headed to pit road. Oh, DJ may have just, looked like he clipped the grass and went hard into the outside wall. Looked like he was loose coming out of turn 4. Couldn't avoid the grass. DJ had been marching forward earlier in the race, but just lost a ton of ground. Richie Joplin and Jeff Hinkle still out front. Mark Nelson still closing in. This long run is where Jeff Hinkle tends to shine on old tires. We'll see if he can make it work and finds the speed to get past Richie. DJ Kenner has been to pit road for tires, fuel, and repairs. He is coming back up to speed out on track now, currently in 7th. However, he has completed his first stop. Richie Joplin is starting to pull a little bit of a gap now on Jeff Hinkle, 3/4 of a second. DJ Kenner on fresh tires, looking underneath Mark Nelson. DJ not on the lead lap, but he is flying around here. That fresh rubber making a huge difference. Mark Dantuma is on pit road for his stop. Looks like the drivers are going to split this in 3 segments. Now the question is, how much longer does Richie Joplin, Jeff Hinkle, and Mark Nelson stay out? Dantuma's stop completed. He rolls off pit road. Meanwhile, DJ on those fresh tires comes by the leader, reclaims one of his laps. And DJ just driving away from the leader off turn 2. Mark Dantuma now out on 4 fresh tires here tonight as well. And Gerald Poole is on pit road. Jeff Hinkle in second, now has the Mark Nelson in third. Right there, the top 3 now within just over a second. Mark Nelson lost all that ground in the early going here tonight, but has made up most of it at this point. So far, Richie Joplin has led all but 1 lap. Jeff Hinkle now losing ground. Mark Nelson sits on his bumper. Donald Durant's back and forth. Back behind Mark Dantuma, DJ Kenner, Gerald Poole have all completed their first stops. The top 4 stretching the tires and fuel as far as they can. Gerald Poole on fresh tires making a move to the high side as Mark Nelson starts to look high for second place. Mark all over Jeff Hinkle's back bumper as they go off into 1 and 2. This battle behind has allowed Richie to open up a 1.1 second lead over Hinkle and Nelson. Donald Durant's also back and forth, has not completed his stop. As Mark Nelson has the run down into 3 on the bottom. Oh, they touch. Hinkle not gonna make it easy here. Mark still has the nose in. Hinkle drives a little bit deeper into 1. Mark has the advantage down on the bottom, but out of 2, Hinkle keeps his foot in it. Through 3 and 4, side by side, but Jeff Hinkle, oh, Mark Nelson gets the grass. Jeff Hinkle clears. Looks like Richie Joplin, the top 4, if they can stretch it about another 9 laps, may be able to split this race into 2. But you have to wonder, Mark Dantuma, DJ Kenner, Gerald Poole on the fresher tires, can they make up the ground? Dantuma quickly closing in on 4th place. Donald Durant's at the moment. The fresher tires and the higher speed for more laps may have an impact here. While that battle was going on back behind, Richie Joplin has been able to pull out a 1.7 second lead. Donald Durant's currently holding on for 4th, but Dantuma is closing in. Richie Joplin needs to stretch the fuel another 5 or 6 laps. As Mark Nelson attacks again on Hinkle. Out of turn 2, down into 3, Nelson pushes up just a little bit. Hinkle doing everything he can to keep him pinned down. Into 1 and 2, Hinkle can drive a little bit deeper. The advantage in the middle goes to Mark, and here comes Dantuma from behind. On the fresh tires, Dantuma just cutting through the field. Richie Joplin further extends his lead. And out of turn 2, Nelson has the run again. Gerald Poole has towed to pit road. We'll take a look here in a moment. Oh, Mark pushing up in the middle of 3 and 4 once again. It is close off 4. Mark got a big push and Hinkle pulls ahead. Looks like Gerald got loose coming out of 4, got the outside wall, then found a pit stall and parked it. Just a couple laps shy of the halfway point for Richie Joplin. Oh, Richie Joplin is headed to pit road. Mark Nelson and Jeff Hinkle continue to stay out, continue to battle. Mark clears on the front stretch. Mark Nelson back to the lead. Jeff Hinkle now into second. Richie headed toward his pit stall. Jeff Hinkle hits pit road. And it looks like everybody can go the distance. From here, we'll likely see Mark Nelson and Donald Durant in the next lap. Mark Nelson is headed to pit road. He gives up the lead. Mark Dantuma currently sitting in second. Donald Durant's in third. Dantuma will still need one more stop. Donald Durant is headed in. He will complete the cycle of pit stops. Mark Dantuma assumes the lead on lap 56. DJ Kenner sliding by now into second. Richie Joplin coming by will take third. And it looks like Mark Nelson may have gotten a penalty on pit road. He is still in his pit stall. Donald Durant's already rolling. And it does appear Mark Nelson got a speeding penalty on pit road entry. He is on his way back out, but has lost a lot of ground. Richie Joplin dominated the early part of this race. He does not need to make another stop here tonight. He is currently in third, 2 seconds behind the Iceman. And 17 seconds behind the leader, Mark Dantuma, but DJ and Mark both have to make another stop for fuel. Jeff Hinkle on the same pit strategy as Richie, now about 4.6 seconds back. And Richie Joplin has second place, DJ Kenner in his sights. Don't forget, folks, next Sunday night, another recruitment race here, 7 Eastern, hosted sessions for BRR. Richie Joplin now to second place. Richie 15.7 seconds behind Mark the Man Dantuma. Mark Nelson is back out on track after his speeding penalty, back in 6th place, 6 seconds behind Donald Durant. Mark Dantuma out front, though, has a hard-charging Richie Joplin coming for him. Richie less than 14 seconds behind and closing quickly. Last time by, Richie exactly 1 second a lap faster than Dantuma. Dantuma still has to make one more fuel stop. Donald Durant has quietly snuck his way into the top 5 in 5th at the moment. About 30 seconds behind Jeff Hinkle. Mark Nelson, though, just 4 seconds behind, reeling Durant in. Richie Joplin a little bit of a blink as he comes through 1 and 2, but now less than 11 seconds out of the lead. He is closing in on Dantuma rapidly as Jeff Hinkle now reclaims 3rd from DJ. Richie Joplin split this race evenly in half. Dantuma still needs to make another stop, but he will have the freshest tires when he comes out. If he times it right, he might still have a shot. Mark Nelson still trying to reel in Donald Durant after that pit road speeding penalty sent Nelson back to 6th place. Jeff Hinkle currently running in 3rd place. Definitely has the speed on Mark Dantuma. DJ's in for his final stop. Likely we'll see Dantuma in the next 5 laps to split this race evenly. Will it be enough? Richie Joplin in second, now just 6.3 seconds back and closing very, very rapidly. Jeff Hinkle in third, about 7.25 seconds back from Richie. Mark Nelson now up into fourth. Dan Tuma's lead disappearing very rapidly with 40 laps left to go. He still has to make that final stop. Gerald Poole is now officially out of the race, leaving only 6 drivers left in the field. Richie continuing to reel in the leader, but the lap time starting to stabilize just a little bit. Now only 4 seconds back. Last time by, only about 0.6 of a second faster. Meanwhile, DJ Kenner out on track, having completed his final stop, is at the moment the fastest car, reeling in 5th place Donald Durant. Mark Nelson back in 4th place, still trying to close the gap on Jeff Hinkle. Richie Joplin now just 2.5 seconds out of the lead. He has Mark Dantuma in his sights. Hey, good evening, AJ. Richie continuing to reel in Dantuma. Dantuma still needs to make that final stop. Really surprised we have not seen him in yet. Jeff Hinkle back in 3rd, starting to close the gap now on Richie Joplin, but the gap still holds at 7.6 seconds. Just over 30 laps to go. Hinkle will have to close that gap quickly. And Dantuma continues to stay out. Here comes Richie. Dan Tuma's going up the track out of turn 2, trying to carry some momentum. Richie has the speed. Richie has the fresher tires. He goes to the bottom, and Richie Joplin back to the lead. And Richie starting to blink badly. Dan Tuma continuing to stay out in second place. Jeff Hinkle was able to gain a lot of ground, now just over 6 seconds back. Dan Tuma finally gives up second. He is in. Jeff Hinkle will reclaim second place. Less than 6 seconds out of the lead. The king of tire saving is on the attack. Mark Nelson currently in 4th. Donald Durant's back in 5th. The Iceman in 6th. DJ closing the gap as well. And Richie Joplin is in. This is unexpected. Richie Joplin is on pit road. Jeff Hinkle has taken the lead. Richie pitted on lap 54. Should have been able to go the distance. He is taking 4 tires and fuel. Jeff Hinkle has the lead now. Mark Nelson in 2nd, almost a lap down. Donald Durant's now in 3rd. Richie Joplin rolling off pit road in 4th. Mark Dantuma in 5th. No, Dan Tuma took 4th as he comes by Richie. Hey, good evening, Kevin. So Jeff Hinkle way out front over Mark Nelson and Donald Durant, but now the battle is on back behind. Mark Dantuma, Richie Joplin, DJ Kenner, all on fresh tires. All of them gaining on the leaders. Dantuma just about 1.3 seconds back from 3rd place Durant. Just under 6 seconds behind Mark Nelson. But with 25 laps to go, Jeff Hinkle has a almost 30-second lead. He can be careful about it, maintain his tires, maintain his fuel, and should be able to hold them off. Yeah, Kevin, I'm so excited about that one myself. Mark Dantuma has now taken 3rd place, Richie to 4th, Durant's back to 5th, but DJ, he's coming by. Dantuma 4 seconds behind Mark Nelson, and he is going to unlap himself. Hinkle will be able to use the draft of the cars coming by on fresh tires. That will help him with that time a little bit. Richie Joplin still lurking back there as well. DJ Kenner, Donald Durant's coming. Mark Dantuma 1.6 seconds back and gaining. Richie Joplin another 1.6 seconds back from Dantuma. DJ losing ground, now 2.5 seconds back from Richie. And Dantuma has the Mark Nelson in his sights. It is Mark versus Mark. Dantuma on the fresher tires, right to the back bumper of the Mark Nelson. Has the run down into turn one. Dantuma back to second place. 21 laps to go, and he is 27.5 seconds behind Jeff Hinkle. Last time by, Dantuma just a second a lap faster than Hinkle at the moment. At that pace, he cannot catch the leader. Richie Joplin comes by Mark Nelson, now takes third. A heartbreak for Mark Nelson, who started on the pole, had problems on lap one, dropped to 6, raced his way back to the lead, only to get a speeding penalty on pit road and end his chance for a win. Richie is closing in on Mark Dantuma. The gap now 1.4 seconds. Dantuma is closing in on Hinkle, now 24.5 seconds. But last time by, Dantuma only 1.5 seconds faster than the leader. Cody, I do have to say, it is a lot of fun, buddy. Jeff Hinkle's lead is shrinking rapidly, but it is big enough at the moment he might be able to hold them off. Hinkle is the best at conserving the tires, conserving the car, conserving the fuel, making it work. He has played the game perfectly tonight. The strategy has been perfect. He's got a big lead. Can he hold on for 16 more laps? Donald Durance has had a problem. Oh, loose off of turn 4. How many times have we seen that one tonight? Hard on the brakes, gets it gathered up, does not draw the caution. Great save, but wow. Durance is bringing it down to pit road as the leader goes by. Mark Dantuma now 20 seconds behind Jeff Hinkle holding him off for the moment. 14 laps to go. Jeff Hinkle started in third, dropped back in the early going. In that first run, late in the run, did not push the issue, played his strategy perfectly, has fought his way up, snuck through the field quietly doing Jeff Hinkle things till he gets to the lead. His lead now 18.1 seconds. Mark Dantuma split the race up into threes. Charged to the lead after his first pit stop after the halfway point. Fought his way back up into second, has charged through on fresh tires. But with just over 10 laps to go, does not look like he can run the leader down. Donald Durant is back out on track, currently in 6th place. The car is fixed. Richie Joplin in third was gaining ground on Dantuma, but has now dropped about 2.25 seconds back. Mark Nelson back in fourth, has settled into a rhythm about 9 seconds back in fourth. The Iceman is closing in on Mark Nelson, 2.5 seconds back and gaining. Eight laps to go for Jeff Hinkle. Jeff had one win last season, a perennial contender in the championships. Every season since the playoffs began, he has been in it. One of the OG BRR members since the beginning. One of the best and the king of tire saving. And in 5 laps, he will return to victory lane. Mark Dantuma still trying to run him down, but 14 seconds behind. Richie Joplin sitting in third, the Mark Nelson in fourth, DJ Kenner in fifth. Donald Durant in sixth, Gerald Poole, Wyatt Blair, Matt Cook, Donnie Gibson out early. And don't forget, next Sunday, recruitment race number 2. Everybody is welcome. It'll be in hosted sessions under BRR at 7 Eastern. Three laps to go for the king of tire saving, Jeff Hinkle. The perfect car and track combination for him. He is pulling it off yet again here at Texas. Mark Dantuma currently in second. Richie Joplin in third. Mark Nelson in fourth after that pit road speeding penalty. And the Iceman in fifth. And out of turn 4, white flag is in the air one more time around for Jeff Hinkle. Always a contender and always the strategist who saves the car, makes it last, makes it work, and gets it done. Through 3 and 4, the king of tire saving is headed back to victory lane. Out of turn 4, Jeff Hinkle will win at Texas. Mark the Man Dantuma coming home in second place, and Richie Joplin rounds out the podium in third. Let's talk to our top 3, starting with Richie Joplin. Richie, that was definitely an interesting one, but I have to ask, that second pit stop surprised the heck out of me.
Well, I couldn't save 6 laps of fuel, so
I didn't think you would be that much short. You pitted on lap 54.
yeah, but I ran out going right into pits. I ran out of fuel, sputtered. It took forever for me to get to my pit stall, and then I was just using too much fuel. I mean, the way I was driving it, I just pounded the crap out of the car. So,
well, it was definitely a great run, a great comeback, and a great podium finish, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug.
Mark the Man Dantuma coming home in second. Mark, quite a race you had going on there, and there for a while it looked like you might run Hinkle down.
Yeah, I tried an alternate strategy. I just can't save tires to save my life, and of course, Jeff is pretty darn good at that. So I had to try something. I wasn't going to beat him on speed.
Well, and Jeff is the king of tire saving for sure. He got the job done, and man, but it was still, the strategy was perfect. You were definitely running him down there for a bit.
Yeah, I wished I would have practiced green flag pit stops, because that kind of hurt me on that first one and set me back a little farther than I should have been. But yeah, it was overall pretty good strategy. Just needed more laps.
I think the green flag stop thing too may come into play. You were not the only one to have problems on pit road tonight.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of people were having a little difficulty. So,
well, congratulations, a great race, and looking forward to where's our next recruitment race at next week?
They're going to run next week at Auto Club.
Oh, boy. Well, that's definitely going to be interesting. Looking forward to that one.
All right. Thanks, Doug.
And I'm looking to see, it does not appear we have a Hinkle available to interview. We'll see if he pops in here in a minute. But next Sunday, 7 Eastern, they will be at Auto Club for recruitment race number 2. Does not look like we are going to get a Hinkle, so congratulations to Jeff Hinkle on the win. It is long overdue. Great job, buddy. Hope everybody had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. A lot of new content coming on YouTube and a lot of awesome stuff coming soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow night for Jones BS Racing. Have a great night, everybody.